Today's story is so heartwarming that even those with the coldest, most shriveled hearts will have no choice but to feel overwhelming joy. Hey, how's it going? It's your friendly neighborhood gatekeeper, Dan Frampton here, and if anybody tells you that Midwest emo and American football are not punk rock, you can go tell them to shove it, okay? Because they very much are those things. So yeah, we're going to be talking about American football today, that band that put out this iconic record, okay? American football. It's got this house on the cover, and today's story is all about that house. This house has become sort of a monument. If you're an emo kid going on a road trip, you're gonna make the pilgrimage to the American football house. And today, the news broke that the band and the label, and a couple other people, we'll get to that, well, they got together and they bought that house to protect it. Because unlike giant video game companies, preservation of the culture is important here. Because like I said, this place is a bit of a monument, and we're going to get more into that in a little bit. But you know, a lot of shows happened here, a lot of parties happened here, indoors, outdoors. People visited from all over the place just to see the house that was on the cover of an album that defined an entire genre. So what we got here is their Instagram, and it looks like an original print of that album cover over here. And I gotta love to see it. So let's get into this a little bit. What did they say? Last fall, we received word that 704 West High Street in Urbana might be sold soon. Shortly thereafter, American Football, Polyvinyl Records, Chris Strong Photography, Atiba Jefferson, and Open House Contemporary made a pact. We'd all buy the house together before developers could demolish it and build a condo. And isn't that just so heartwarming, okay? The culture means so much to them. This house means so much to them that they're willing to get together and throw their money at buying this place. Today, with sincere joy, we are excited to share that we collectively purchased the American Football House in an effort to preserve its place and legacy within the community that built it. And look at that, so humble. They're not like, we built this house and the community all around it is ours. We're the kings of this stuff. They're saying, no, the community itself built this thing. Here's to keeping the landmark alive for many years to come. And they're not just being over dramatic emo kids when they say a landmark. Because if you look over here on Google Maps, they are a landmark, a historical landmark, the American Football House. And I think that that's just so cool as hell. Because if you're in a scene, if you go to shows, you probably went to a house show. There's probably a house venue in your scene, you know? That's the kind of vibe that you're probably familiar with. And the American Football House is basically the quintessential version of that. And if we just look over here on the Polyvinyl Records website here, they went into a little bit more detail, saying that it was built in 1893, which makes it even more historical. They do make a bunch of great points in this article, but rather than just reading it all, I'm just going to show you a couple tabs that I have open here. And in this article, it says that Google has them as a place of worship, as it says here. But we already looked. It doesn't really look like it says it's a place of worship, at least not to me. And not right away. It says that it's a historical landmark. Not to say that that's not a place of worship, but it's not what it says when I look right here. And then they go on to talk about the 2016 album that they put out, the follow-up to LP1, which they so cleverly called LP2, and rather than the outside of the house, they got the inside of the house. And in 2020, when all the world was locked up, all the creative minds were actively thinking, how can we peddle our wares? How can we peddle our creative wares to people in a way that makes sense where we're all locked up? So one of the ways that people thought of was to have concerts in Minecraft. And American Football certainly did that. They have this song called Never Meant, so they called their Minecraft show Netherment. Very clever. Let's take a little watch here just to get a good vibe.
Hi, we're American Football from Reality, Illinois.
Yeah, so you get the idea. They're in Minecraft and they're going to play music. I got to cut it off before they actually play any music. But maybe let's just skip down here and get at least 1 second of music. So that's kind of the idea. They're ripping some Midwest emo here in the Nether. You gotta think that that's cool, right? Look at all these people over here watching the show. You gotta love to see it. I think that we could still be doing this kind of thing, even outside of the pandemic times. And if you thought I was being dramatic saying emo kids going on a pilgrimage, look at this. This has got a bunch of emo kids going down to the house. You don't need to do that much of a search to see this happening. Got a bunch of people out here shotgunning beers outside of the American Football House. Hey, I made my way to the American Football House with the American Football House on a record. How cool is that? I'm so cool. Check out this sick shot of the American Football House. It's actually pretty cool. I went to the American Football House to tell it to fuck off. And it's also been memed into the ground. Here we got a classic Tom Scott meme. You gotta love a group of scene kids taking a posse shot outside of the American Football House. So yeah, it's all very wholesome, it's all very heartwarming, and I just wanted to talk about that for a little bit because it happened today and it's actually pretty cool. And before you bounce on out of here, if you want to support the channel for free, there's a couple ways to do it. My favorite way is you guys leaving pancake emojis down there in the comments. You can also like and subscribe, ring the bell if you're cool as hell, and until my next upload, you can watch another upload.